Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we are back from the brand. New video. Today's video, we are back in action to break down, react and discuss Rangers 2 Standard Liege 0, which for the majority of the game was a swimming contest, let's be brutally honest about that, but it ended in what can only possibly ever be described as the greatest goal I have ever seen. Like, honestly, I don't know how else to start today's video without speaking about the end of the actual game. And that's usually the opposite of what happens here on the channel. But my ticker's still gone. I'm still needing a cold shower. My head is completely confused, bemused, but also very happy in what I just witnessed for kemar roofe. Anyone questioning that lad's talent and quality? I mean, he's a bit, But in the interest of today's video, I'm going to try and compose myself just very briefly and give my overview of the actual game first and try and actually react to a fantastic performance, because how amazing that goal is, and trust me, we will break it down in all its glory in today's video. We can't forget about how much of a big result this actually is, because that mob that we just played there and deservedly bet was undefeated in the last 15 home European games. Yet again, we've went there, we've answered the bell and we've came away with a win. And I'll never get tired of talking about Rangers wins. I just won't, people, and I want to give the management, the players the credit, because they went there, matched them. The conditions were a disgrace in the second half, but did we fall away or lose our intensity or lose control of the game? No, really. We continue to battle, we continue to fight, and we have the quality. I mean, we have the quality of the players to make things happen, but in saying that, the winning goal is absolutely out of this world. But aye, full credit to the Rangers team there. That was a fantastic performance and fantastic result. Gone there in a tricky place where 15 other teams in European football haven't been able to go there and get the job done. Yet we can. Delighted, boys. Absolutely delighted. Now, something else I was absolutely delighted with, by the way, is if you checked out yesterday's preview video, a couple of things we actually spoke about did happen in the game, and that was a change at centre-half and your man Ryan Jack coming back into the starting 11. And to be fair, there was a couple of people saying, CJ, shouldn't he come back in? We're playing too well to know this, this and this. And again, that's completely fine if that's your thoughts and opinion. But all I'm going to say is, judge the guy on his base work, and the 93 minutes that Ryan Jack went and played there was absolutely outstanding. And everything we kind of talked about in the preview video on how they were going to play sort of came to pass, playing a lot out the wing. The game was going to be fought and won out the full-back and wing position. You saw how dangerous they were at going forward, and when I saw young Calvin Bassey come into the game of football, it did make me just a little bit nervous, because I went, oh dear, that's all they're going to go for the rest of the game. But all I could sit here and say is, Calvin Bassey, you big beaut. Speaking of a beautiful fullback, by the way, let's talk about the first goal in the game that set us on our way. And after a kind of first opening 15 minutes, we were all sort of expecting. The only little disappointment was for me is Morelos' inability to hold the ball up and get us up the park. It was a lot of always trying to get it forward, the ball bouncing off and them coming straight back. But again, we showed we have some set piece quality with a wonderful delivery inside the box. Connor Goldson wants it more than their captain, just bullies them in the air, gets the header down, and their defender throws his arm up to control the ball. It's a clear penalty kick. I don't think even the biggest Rangers hater will try and argue that cause. They basically tried to catch it as if he was in between the sticks, and penalty to Rangers happened. We were all absolutely buzzing, and I looked at the goalkeeper and I went, he looks like an extra for a Christmas movie. But then I fired that out on Twitter and I went, oh, that's a bit tension in the anus now, because what I've just said there could come back to haunt us. But thankfully it didn't, as Tavernier stepped up and he does what he does best, and that's lead by example. Phenomenal penalty kick, buried, and that's his 9th goal in his last 10 games now. El Skipperoo, I freaking love you. Can I get that on a t-shirt? No? Okay. But all joking on that aside, that goal was massive, because again, it just put us in the driving seat for the game, and it did spark us more into life going forward. After the ball gets played, just 2 minutes after we opened the scoring in the 18th minute, it drops to Hadji 45 yards out. He goes, oh, I'm Hadji, I'm gone for it, and it's absolutely a whisker away. Phenomenal effort. The goalkeeper acts like he knew it was gone wide, but nah, he didn't have an absolute Scooby-Doo. Just a whisker away there for Hadji for being his wonder goal and his moment so far of the season. But to be fair to the opposition, as we spoke about yesterday, they are very, very dangerous and they will play out to the wing position, and you saw what their strengths were in the 24th minute of this game as they sort of sucker our pressure up, hit that long ball into the fullback. It ends up going right across to the other winger. But what I really liked about this one there is that's their bread and butter. They do that on a weekly basis. Get it out wide, get it in there, and either get a shot off, force an effort, or win a penalty. But Scotty Arfield comes out of nowhere in the 24th minute with a perfectly timed challenge, and that wasn't the only time he'd done that in the game as well. So I just wanted to give him credit there, because that is what they would have dreamed of getting versus Rangers. But Arfield was big enough and good enough to stop it and go, "Ho, I'm Scotty Arfield." I don't know why I've done this salute. I'm sorry, but again, as we've not mentioned it so far in today's video, if you are enjoying the content and you enjoy these videos, make sure you be hitting that subscribe button. We are trying to reach 55k, so if you haven't done so already, it's free, doesn't cost you a penny, and it just helps us on our frickin' way. A bit like Scotty Arfield. Didn't cost a penny, but he's helping us on our way. That was awful. But back to the game of football. In the 30th minute, you saw another big moment for Connor Goldson with a perfectly timed last-ditch challenge. And then just 6 minutes later, again, our inability to get the ball forward and sort of give the defence a respite ends up nearly costing us as the ball ricochets off Alfredo Morelos. The ball gets played once again from standard out to the right hand side. It is a truly wonderful, wonderful cross. I've got to be brutally honest, but that is perfect. But the wee centre forward that actually gets in between Connor Goldson and Leon Balogun, flicks the header on perfectly, but it rattles the bar and we get it clear. And that right there was a warning sign of this team's quality, and again a wee reminder that we need to go out there and get the second goal. But what I liked is how we responded from that chance. We took what they were bringing, we adjusted ourselves. Tavernier on the right hand side, so powerful, so driving, so commanding. He gets the ball, fires a beautiful ball 15-20 yards in the air to Scotty Arfield, who's everywhere, let's be brutally honest about that, but his touch is immaculate. A wee cushion pass in behind the defence. Morelos has got space, he's got so much space to take a touch and have a shot, but he tries a first time pass back to Arfield, who has two men on him, and maybe that's a wee signal of how Morelos is lacking in confidence. Let's say that, because if that's, I don't know, any other time in his Rangers career, I'd bet my house on him taking a touch and getting a shot on target, but he tries to force a pass and it falls away. And unfortunately that sums up the wee man's afternoon. It just wasn't his day again, which is a real shame. He got a couple of nice touches involved in build-up, but he needs to also do the job as a centre forward, and that's take his chances when it does come. So I was feeling a wee bit like I'd just been twanged right in the crown jewels at that point, and it actually got worse, because in the 40th minute, something we did speak about earlier in today's video, is Barisic did end up signalling right away and something wrong with his thigh. Again, as I'm currently recording today's video, I haven't heard or seen what it was. If there is any updates, I'll give you it down there in the comment section below, but it looks like it's more of a precaution, and the only reason I say that is he wasn't stretchered off and he actually walked all the way around the park. If he was seriously injured and it was something major, I don't think they would allow him to sort of almost walk it off. It looks like it's more of a precaution, especially when you've got a guy as good as Bassey on the actual bench. And again, I was slightly worried because I felt like they were going to go for him right away, but the man just took to the game like a duck to water, man, which is quite ironic given the way the game actually went. But fair credit to Bassey, came on the park, and the biggest compliment you could give him is it didn't look like we were missing a starter, and that's Barisic that went off. That says it all. Now, there is one last thing I want to speak about in the first half, by the way, because it shows that not even European refs get it frickin' right every time, because they hit the bar again, but I don't know how this is counting and how this is allowed to happen, because they once again get the ball out wide, they whip it into the mixer like they do all the time, but the guy literally goes like this. I like Diego Maradona, I like Superman, watch me, I've combined them, tilly-ho, and he punches it onto the bar. Clear handball, but the referee actually blows for half time and says no, it was actually a shot on target. But aye, for them, literally Superman in that hole, it ends up with McGregor getting booked for telling all Greenlaces, aka the referee, that he got that in wrong. But anyway, that was half time, and again, I was a happy guy saying, you know what, in this ground where teams have struggled so many times, being 1-0 up, I'm happy with that and I'm content, but again, we need to do better up front. We need to get the ball to stick, to take a wee bit of pressure off this defence and help us kill a wee bit of the clock and actually create a chance for ourselves again. And we did that over the first 15 minutes in the actual second half, where once again Tavernier was instrumental, just being fantastic, getting the ball, driving forward with it. He then chips a pass through two defenders to put Morelos in on goal again, but his first touch is horrendous, his second's even worse, and it goes out for a corner kick after a simple save from the goalkeeper. But there was other wee ones like that, and that was impressive, because 5 minutes later Arfield had a chance. After that again, Arfield then has another chance where he could probably slip in Hadji, but that was good from us, getting the ball down and playing football. And I says, you know what, we're taking this game over, it's all us right now. And then it started to rain. Now, you're welcome for that mime, by the way, but honestly it doesn't even do it justice, because it was absolutely hammering it down, and it simply went from rain, right, as cold, wet night and everything like that we're used to playing obviously up in Scotland, to holy crap, it looks like I'm on Valhalla. At Blackpool, there was just water everywhere. It killed the game from every aspect. It was no longer a football match. We were, both teams actually, to be fair to standards, well, we were trying to get the ball down, we were trying to pass the ball, but it was going like a yard and then sticking, and then people were falling over the shopping, and it simply became a game of guess the frickin' bounce. And I'll be honest, lads, for the first 20 minutes I absolutely hated guess the bounce, because every time a ball went over to Alan McGregor I was nervous and I was going, my arse was doing the drums for Jumanji, truly. But then I realised, because I'm going to skip right to sort of the end of the game, right? Because there was a couple of wee moments right at the end of the game where I went, I quite like the old guess the bounce, because we spoke about it in yesterday's preview. This team is never, ever beat. They score majority of their goals after the 75th minute. They've played 12 games this season, 9 goals after the 75th minute. They come alive and they create that chance and that opportunity. And it came in the 92nd minute of this game, where they get the ball kind of punted up the park. Again, I don't know how to describe it. The ball's just gone everywhere. They end up crossing it right to the back post where it's free. There's one of their guys completely, all he needs to do is touch it, and he's got a shot on target for Alan McGregor. But the bounce, he doesn't guess the right bounce. It goes under his leg. He then tries to go out and get the ball. We win the ball back. Kicks it sort of 10, 15 yards from our own box. And it looks like it's gone to one of them, but Kemar Roofe says, I'm on the park, it's time for me to show my quality and what I can do as a football player, because not only does he have the strength, aggression and will to battle the elements and battle the big, I think it was the centre half he was up against, but he wins the ball. Then what are you going to do with it? Are you just going to run in the corner? Are you going to turn around? Are you going to pass it backwards? Or are you just going to keep the ball and try and win a stupid free kick? Is that what you're going to do, Kemar Roofe? Because you've got one guy here, one guy here, one guy here, and one guy here. But Kemar Roofe gets the ball down, runs directly, beating one, beating two, flicks it by the third, gets the head up 54.6 yards out for goal, round it up, that's 55, and he lifts his head up, just smashes it. And I'm not wanting to hear any of this nonsense that he doesn't mean it. He quite clearly has a look before he does it, and it's absolutely to perfection. And I love the fact that the goalkeeping's positioning was spot on as well, because it makes the goal that bit better. There was no folly of the goalkeeper, it didn't slip backwards, it's hit immaculately. And I've said it at the start of the video and I'll say it now, that is the greatest goal I have ever seen. I mean, the goal was that unbelievable. The referee literally booked Kemar Roofe for scoring the greatest goal in Europa League's history, people. That's how much of a good goal it frickin' was. And you talk about going in there making impression, right? Morelos seems to have this hold in the starting 11, and yes, his link-up play is normally very, very good, but he's not getting a lot of goals right now. When you're subbed on as a striker, you want to make an impact, and by God, has he went out there and made an impact. For me, it has to play versus Livingston. I might be living in the moment, but I reckon when somebody does that and shows that quality, you've got to reward them with going in there and leading the line at Rangers. Absolutely loved every single second of that, and I've got it just on replay on my phone right now. I've not even got any notes, got in the hunt. I've just got that goal there, and I'm happy with that. But that's me done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. That is the game recap right frickin' there. And I know there were stupid handbags at the end with McGregor, getting involved in Kemar Roofe. I think one of them tried to grab him, so McGregor tells that wee Diddy coach to, Watsky tells him on his way, pretty please. I believe that's what he said anyway, I don't know. Might be hanging that. I know Ryan Jack was involved in a couple of things, but I love the team spirit there because that was one of our players had about 7 trying to gang up on him, and we had McGregor, we had Jack diving in there to defend our boys, and that's the type of team spirit you need, and I love that we have that. That if I was to go with a man of the match, believe it or not, despite everything I've said, I'm still going to go with Tavernier. I thought he was behind absolutely everything that was positive for Rangers, and he didn't look flustered once in the entire game. What about you guys? If you're still watching in today's video, who was your man of the match? Who stood out to you? What's your thoughts and opinions on this freaking game? But with that being said, I'm officially done and dusted. Thank you so much for watching. This smile isn't going anywhere anytime soon, sorry. And I'll see you in a couple of days for the preview of the Livingston game, and hopefully there's another big grin on the old Nasher. Bye. Take care of yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.